The most beloved character in the Star Wars franchise in my book has got to be the character of Luke Skywalker, and his return in the Star Wars franchise with Episode 9 is leaving a lot of fans wondering exactly what will J.J. Abrams and Chris Terrio be doing with the character. This is Mike Zero here. If you guys are new to the channel, do make sure to subscribe to see future Star Wars content. Now, one thing that I actually really loved about the very ending of The Force Awakens is that it really kept things open. It was very mysterious. I honestly thought it was a legendary ending to a Star Wars movie because it left open the possibilities for The Last Jedi. And with a lot of fans disappointed of how Luke was used in Episode 8, a lot of fans are crossing their fingers as to exactly what's going to happen with Luke in the final Skywalker saga film in Episode 9. Now, granted, most likely he's going to be in the form of a Force ghost and or in a flashback sequence, as opposed to him coming back to life. But these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film when it comes to some of the scene schedules, the set designs, the set leaks, the concept art, and storyboard descriptions, one of which specifically has all to do with Luke and Kylo Ren. Specifically, a description of Luke in the side of Kylo Ren's throne room. In the background, Kylo is sitting on his throne as Luke talks to Kylo Ren in the other direction. Luke seems to be a Force ghost, however appears to be in physical form and not transparent. He has no beard and wears a white robe. Another goes over Luke in front of Kylo Ren with Luke's finger pointed at Kylo, giving him a lecture of sorts. Kylo points his hand back at Luke and his expressions appears to be as if he is screaming at Luke and having another tantrum, one of the iconic behaviors of Kylo Ren in the sequel trilogy. The throne room has a blue and red hue to it, and somewhat emulates Palpatine's from the original trilogy. The way Luke and Kylo Ren are talking in the throne room, they are cycling around, similar to Obi-Wan and Anakin walking in a slight circle on Mustafar's landing pad in Revenge of the Sith. The last goes over Kylo Ren trying to strike Luke with his lightsaber, only for Luke to vanish and appear across the room, teasing him and taunting him. So this is one thing that I really want to go over. I know that the whole concept of Luke being a Force ghost in Episode 9 is quite controversial right now. A lot of fans really aren't up for it. Meanwhile, some fans actually really are embracing the idea of Luke being a Force ghost in Episode 9. Now, like I say, I think that applying a Luke Force ghost in Episode 9 can work as long as you do something completely different and amazing with that type of scenario, such as Mark Hamill wanting to actually have a more evil Force ghost, a Force ghost that would essentially haunt somebody. And that is one aspect of the Star Wars franchise that we have not seen, at least on film. I think that could very well be something similar to what they did in one of the Star Wars comics, is when Luke's Force ghost essentially keeps on bothering Cade Skywalker. Not essentially haunting or taunting or teasing, but just kind of bothering, you know, Cade Skywalker, and Cade would actually eat the death sticks to keep the Force ghosts away. But looking at Star Wars Episode 9, you know, I don't know how you guys would feel about that being a part of the plot where Luke is essentially haunting Kylo Ren, where he keeps on reminding him about his rule in the galaxy and his position within the First Order, or whatever this new order is going to be under Kylo Ren. As far as Luke teasing Kylo, where he appears in front of Kylo Ren and then vanishes and reappears, kind of revealing that he is actually a Force ghost for the very first time for Kylo, I think that that could very well work on screen as long as it's executed in the right way. Now sure, in concept it may sound cheesy to some of you guys out there, but if it's done the right way and certain music is applied to it where it really just works and flows well and just resonates with fans, I think then and only then it will work on the big screen where, you know, Kylo is essentially being teased and haunted and taunted by Luke Skywalker, his own uncle, in order to kind of break Kylo Ren, you know, just constantly reminding him about what he has done, what he is doing, and just kind of making him have this feeling of remorse and regret. And I think that may very well be what Luke is going to do to Kylo Ren. After all, we have heard about these numerous set pieces where Mark Hamill will be working specifically with only Adam Driver, and there's another set piece where he will also only be working with Daisy Ridley, and there's another where he will be working with both. So I think that Luke's Force Ghost, or whatever it's going to be, is going to pop up 2 or 3 times in this movie to kind of really embed the character of Luke in Episode 9. We do know that JJ is going to be doing something very special for the character in this film, not just by exploring his legacy, but also showing us the impact of the galaxy, of the legend of Luke Skywalker, and exactly how many people got inspired by Luke. Now, to me, I think it needs to be a whole lot more than that. I think that we need some legitimate Luke Skywalker action, him fighting his nephew, Kylo Ren, lightsaber, and like I say, if they really wanted to, they could do that in, the form of either, bringing him back to life if they really wanted to, or something so outlandish and crazy like having a Force Ghost holding an actual lightsaber hilt and going up against a person in the living world. Not quite sure how people would really react to that. I feel that a lot of negative would come out of that because, well, if you're gonna have Luke fighting his nephew, you might as well do it while he's alive, not in the afterlife. But I would love to hear your opinion about all this below in the comments section. How do you feel about Luke's Force Ghost teasing, taunting, haunting the character of Kylo Ren in order to somewhat break him, to remind him of his place in the galaxy, that he is doing nothing but wrong to a lot of innocent people in this world? I would love to hear what you guys have to say about all of that below. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
Gun in hand, we are alone again. No, I'm not the one from night to moon.